because this can be a precursor to earthquakes, sudden, large carbon monoxide releases, and scientists are now using that technology as an early warning system for some major quakes. Now, on the 27th, you can see it has died back somewhat, and here's today's on the 28th. But guys, notice how it looked. If you back the video up on the 14th, and there's professors that are working worldwide with this information, and again, they're using it to predict earthquakes. So are we seeing an early warning? Because that is, and it's still going on, a lot of carbon monoxide. It's concentrated right here on this fault zone, all the way through the San Andreas Fault, up north through Cascadia.
Frankly, if I lived right now in the Pacific Northwest, I'd be considering moving. Seriously. The gist of it is this. The federal government estimates 13,000 Americans will die in a major earthquake and tsunami in the Pacific Northwest. It's not a question of whether, but when. This earthquake is coming, and it's overdue.
This morning, the most popular article on the New Yorker's website is rattling many Americans. The really big one examines a titanic earthquake and tsunami, but not where you might imagine.
A fault line called the Cascadia Subduction Zone runs for 700 miles off the Pacific Northwest coast. Experts think it will trigger the worst natural disaster in North America's history, and it is overdue.
Today, a minor magnitude 2.6 earthquake shook La Habra, California. It was the same area that was hit by a 5.1 on Friday night. Scientists say there is a 99% chance of a strong or major quake in Southern California in the next 30 years. Here's Ben Tracy.
The earthquake that hit just after 9 o'clock Friday night caused moderate damage but rattled plenty of nerves. The 5.1 quake was not on the well-known San Andreas Fault where the so-called Big One is expected to occur. Rather, it was on the potentially even more dangerous Puente Hills Thrust Fault system. It was discovered in 1999 and stretches from northern Orange County under downtown Los Angeles and up to Hollywood.
So, again, the early warning system may be sending out an alarm. But Dr. Ramesh Singh is saying that carbon monoxide may signal earthquakes. That's what I'm talking about. Earth emits a burst of carbon monoxide a few days before an earthquake.
predicted to be worse than Hurricane Katrina, worse than the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. Scientists and FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, are warning of a pending doom for the Pacific Northwest. An earthquake along a little-known fault line that would kill thousands and affect millions.
Consider that the magnitude 9.0 earthquake in Japan just a few years ago, remember that? Killed more than 15,000 people in the north of Japan and injured thousands of others. Seismologists say that the quake that will strike on our Pacific Northwest coastline should be even stronger, at up to a 9.2. They call such a quake a margin rupture quake, and it's every bit as bad as it sounds. So the last one was more than 300 years ago, the year 1700. It struck in the Pacific Northwest and sent a 600-foot wave of water all the way to Japan.
In 2009, bizarre 4-inch flames of light were seen hovering above a stone-paved road in the historical city center of L'Aquila, Italy, shortly after a cataclysmic magnitude 6.3 earthquake devastated the area, reportedly leaving about 300 people dead. At the time, these light-filled flashes were thought to be a coincidental phenomenon, but now researchers believe they have a direct correlation to the earthquake.
And it wasn't a transformer blowing up or UFOs.
What they are a consequence of the stresses building up deep below in the earth, 7 miles like in the case of the Napa Valley earthquake.
He calls the phenomenon earthquake lights. The quick buildup of stress causes an electric current to flow to the surface and burst through the earth.
L'Aquila was one of several places to see such lights before an earthquake. Other instances include the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, California, where locals witnessed a rainbowed light beam above a street right before the Templar. In the 1988 earthquake in Quebec, Canada, where people saw a purplish glowing sphere near the St. Lawrence River 11 days before the quake, according to National Geographic. The lights can come in many different shapes, forms, and colors.